If you are a Substack writer and you're reading this, is Pinterest a way for me to drive traffic to my Substack? How do you make pins for your Substack articles when your Substack titles aren't exactly search friendly? And Pinterest, from what we have been told, at least I've been telling you this for a really long time, is a search engine. So how do you bring the Substack vibe into an ecosystem that is built for people who are searching for things? That's what I'm going to tell you how to do in today's video. I have mocked up some examples of Pinterest pins for an article that I found on Substack this morning that I think is a perfect fit example for this use case. I'm going to walk you through a mini framework. I'm going to show you exactly what to do with the pins once you have them created. And ultimately, it's up to you whether you go and employ this and use this strategy for getting new readers into your Substack ecosystem. So instead of a Pinterest pin that says like Milan Design Week, you can basically take that. You need to find a keyword for it, write some very search-friendly headlines, and then you want to make Pinterest pins with those. So I know you want to know exactly what this process looks like. So let's jump into the computer back behind me, and I'm going to show you exactly what this should look like, how it should play out. Okay, so what we're looking at is the blog post or newsletter, whatever you want to call it, that I found on Substack this morning that I think is a really good fit for Pinterest. It's about interior design, style, furniture, what's happening at Milan Design Week, which actually happens to be a featured board from Pinterest on the platform because they are all encompassing in all of these sorts of events. So what we're looking at is a blog of sorts or a newsletter that goes into design. And what this person, this writer, thinks is going to become almost like trends or sought after pieces of furniture in the design space. And this is why I thought, as I'm scrolling through this article, this would be a really good fit for Pinterest. Because people are looking for this kind of thing. People are looking for inspiration and actual like chairs or styles of furniture that they can incorporate into their homes. Now, interior design, including picks for styles and furniture, etc., were part of the Pinterest Predicts report for 2026. That is why I think this would be a good fit for Pinterest. Now, if this writer were to drive traffic using Pinterest to her Substack, I went and mocked up, and look, I'm not a professional graphic designer by any means. You guys know that already. But I went and mocked up a few designs, and I wrote some copy for this. I did a little bit of keyword research. I took those, wrote headlines for them, and then I designed just a series of pins. Now, some of these I actually did some design work on, and some of them are just base templates from inside of Canva, which is fine. The thing that I want you to do in the framework is, number one, I want you to ask what someone would be searching for if they were looking for this article. Number two, what does this article solve? Those are the two main questions I want you to ask yourself when you are taking a Substack article that may not be search friendly and you're turning it into a search friendly piece of content for a platform like Pinterest. Now, this article is obviously a really perfect fit for Pinterest. So I went and I turned it into a series of Pinterest pins. They feature different chairs. Obviously, this is not the images from the article. I am not going to take this writer's creative assets and put them in pins that I'm then going to feature on the internet. It's not happening, okay? So these are all stock photos, but still, you get the gist. Now, the thing here is, if someone knows about Milan Design Week, they may not be searching still for things like Milan Design Week. They may search for Milan Design Week, but they may also be searching for things like designer sofas and armchairs, or the specific elements of seating that she actually featured in her article. So people might go on and search for Kelly Wurstler or Ada armchairs. You know, they might be searching for those things on Pinterest versus the actual event that this writer went to, which is Milan Design Week, featuring chairs and sofas and things like that. Now, if you're new writing on Substack, or if you're just new marketing on Pinterest, but you are a pro at Substack, then you have to remember that you don't want to just repeat your article title on the Pinterest pins. You don't want to just repeat it in the pin title or even the pin description, and you definitely don't want to just take copy from your Substack article and use it for your pin description. More on that in a moment. Essentially, the pin should say what's inside the article, but it should be in a search-friendly way. The Substack article is more personality driven. It's definitely an entire ecosystem that has an entire culture around it in and of itself. You don't generally go to Substack and search for things and come up with articles like these because they're not really super search friendly. However, if you go to Pinterest, you definitely want that findability to be embedded inside of the Pinterest pins that you design. So some of the examples that I mocked up, and just ignore these here. Ignore those hidden pages. The ones that I want you to focus on are like the best seating at Milan Design Week. And if I were to go over to Pinterest and actually search Milan Design Week, you'll see exactly what I saw, which is actually quite a lot of content around this event, but also this mid-century modern at Milan Design Weeks in the home decor, and this is a board by Pinterest. There are also other Milan like fashion and home decor boards that are featured as well, but you'll see all of these other pins that are around the same topic. A couple of these examples I have actually mocked up on these pins. So the best seating at Milan Design Week, Milan Design Week 2026 furniture trends. This is something that people are actually would be searching for. Interior design trends from Milan 2026. The best new seating designs at Milan Design Week in 2026. And then the last one is 2026 seating trends from Milan Design Week. So the keywords here are seating trends or 2026 seating trends. Obviously, Milan Design Week is a keyword. The best new seating designs, interior design trends, Milan Design Week furniture trends, and then the best seating at Milan Design Week. So those are kind of a mix of what the keywords you would use and then how I wrote headlines around them. Now, I don't want you, as you're just getting started, to worry about the practicality or even the strategy that is embedded kind of deeper into writing pin titles or the different types of pins that you should be making. I really just want you to understand the skill of writing and creating search-friendly content from non-search-friendly content. So let's talk about what your pins should include, and I'm going to show you over on Pinterest what this looks like if you wanted to schedule these for free. So Pinterest actually has this functionality, which I would use the one that says create pin for idea ad. That's my preferred scheduler. You're not actually creating an ad, okay? It's just the new layout and it gives you a few new bells and whistles. Number one is you should include that main keyword, which we just talked about. It should also include imagery that is of what you're talking about. So if you have photos from the event that you went to, if you have videos from the event that you went to, you can use those creative assets to put into the pin so people can see what's on the other side. You should have your logo or your website name somewhere on these Pinterest pins. This kind of looks like this here. There's a website here at the bottom of pin page number 2. There's a website at the top of page number 3. They're kind of sporadic. Some of the designs I didn't include it, but I definitely think you should. You should have some sort of call to action if possible. This is optional, but some sort of call to action would be really good on some of your pins. You don't have to do it on all of them. You also want to have a keyword-rich pin description. You get 800 characters of space. Use all 800 characters if possible. Try to use upwards of 1 keyword per sentence. If you can get 10 sentences, do 10 keywords. If you can do 8 sentences, do 8 keywords. Either is fine, but try to make sure that you are putting in a keyword-rich pin description. The next thing is you want to link to your article directly. You don't want to do anything else, okay? So I went to the article, I found the exact link, and that's what I would put in here. Then you want to choose your most relevant board. Your most relevant board is going to be related to what you're writing about. So if you're writing about interior design trends, then your board is probably titled Interior Design Trends. If you're writing about mid-century modern chairs or armchairs, then you're probably going to want to put it on a board titled that. You can add tag topics. Tag topics are totally optional. They are not going to make or break or skyrocket your traffic in any way. And then the last thing you want to do is publish. So you can set it to publish now. If you create 5 pins, like the 5 examples that I created, you can set these to publish at a later date over the course of weeks or days or even months if you wanted to. And that's really it. It's really not that difficult. The process here is pretty streamlined considering there are so many different website formats and types of pins that you could make for each, but Substack is definitely a growing platform. So if you are writing there and you are looking to drive some traffic there this year and going into the future, then Pinterest could definitely be a place for you. If you're looking for more Pinterest strategy, tips on design, keyword research, boards, etc., you can watch the beginner playlist here on my channel, as well as any of the other videos, or you can join us inside of Pin Profit Academy, my low-cost Pinterest marketing membership. Either way, you get me, and I will see you in one of those places.